Hi everyone, welcome back to another NBA team preview. We're wrapping it up with the Sacramento Kings, who are finally under the shadow of the Maloofs and have new ownership. And I guess the face of that ownership is Shaquille O'Neal, who's a minority owner. Who knows? Maybe he owns only 0.3% of the franchise, like Jay-Z owned of the Brooklyn Nets. We look at their offseason moves. They hired Michael Malone to be their head coach, obviously known for his defensive he was a defensive specialist, coaching as an assistant coach with the Warriors last year. The players spoke extremely highly of him, so we'll see what he can do as a head coach. Obviously, the same situation hasn't worked out for Dwayne Casey in Toronto after being Dallas' defensive specialist. But let's look at the starters. They're led by DeMarcus Cousins, who got a big extension. A very talented guy, but not always the most focused, gets a lot of technical fouls. If they can get his head on straight, he can be a dominant center in this league. But that's a big if. Their other bigs, Chuck Hayes, obviously nothing more than a post defender, a guy who offers you no offense whatsoever. Carl Landry, nice score off the bench, but I believe he's out for a while. I know I read it, I just don't remember how long, how significant the injury is. I believe it's a couple months. You'll have to check up on that. Luke Monty, yeah, I know, I butchered these names. It's not the first name I butchered, and it won't be the last. Probably butcher another one just on the Kings. Yeah, he's not a great basketball player. He's a guy who's just in there to eat up 10 minutes of garbage time. Other bigs, Travis Outlaw, obviously a huge contract to the Nets, and he was never worth it. He's not a great basketball player. When I saw the contract they gave him, that was just ridiculous. Patrick Peterson, yeah, okay, you got something. And your trade for Thomas Robinson, but Robinson was the better player, and you picked up a guy who's probably ended up averaging for his career 20 minutes. Yeah, he's not a starter. Let's look now at Jason Thompson, who's a versatile player who can play the forward, center, whatever you want. Tall, athletic, really forms a good combination with Cousins. So let's go now look at the three-man, and that's John Solomons. Yes, he's on decline. They're going to look to move that contract, but you really don't have a better option unless you're playing Travis Outlaw, Patrick Patterson. Obviously at guard, it's Ben McLemore, the player they drafted 7th overall, highly athletic. I wasn't too impressed with what I saw him in the tournament. I thought he made some stupid basketball players, maybe not the highest IQ. Look at some other guards. Grius Vasquez could have been was one of the most improved players last year. I always liked him when he was coming out of Maryland. I think he's a good basketball player. A guy who, if he's not your starting point guard, he's a great guy to have off the bench. Going to be a key contributor. Marcus Thornton, okay, that's an okay player, nothing special. Junior Fredette's never really developed. Sorry, you're not athletic enough to take advantage and create your own shots, and you can shoot the ball from anywhere on the court. Ray McCollum, explosive offensive player from Detroit. We'll see how much he plays. You'll expect him to find minutes. You just don't know what position. Is he a 2-guard, or is he going to be running the point? I think this is an improving team, but I don't think it's a playoff team. I think they sort of fall in no man's land, but I think it's a positive no man's land for them, because I think they make strides towards the right territory, the playoffs. I think maybe the year following, they sneak into the playoffs with DeMarcus Cousins becoming an all-star. And that's my preview for the Sacramento Kings. Thanks for watching, everyone.